Well, it could be the most hotly contested division in the NFL, Patriots notwithstanding. The AFC East with three teams with a win total between 9.5 and 10.5. And we are going to get win total picks and a division winner pick from Lige, who played some ball in that division back in the day, and Danny Cannell. You didn't play in the AFC East at all, did you?
No.
Played in the NFC East many years. Let's start with the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen and company. The win total is set at 10.5, Lige. They've won 11+ each of the last 4 seasons.
I'm going under. When you look at this Buffalo Bills team, the turnover of this team, more specifically on the defensive side, and then at the receiver position, more specifically, when you look at what this team looks like, there's only one receiver that has actually caught a pass from Josh Allen. That's Khalil Shakir. So there's always an acclamation when you're a quarterback, right, in regards to having that continuity with your receivers. Now, I do believe with offensive coordinator Joe Brady, there'll be more 12 personnel, which is 2 tight end sets. They'll run the football, which they did really well with James Cook last year. But my question is Josh Allen, right? This is the first time he won't have a true number 1 receiver. And when you look at the turnovers, number 1 in all the NFL in turnovers, right? And then something that was real telling, DK, that I looked up, when Josh Allen turns the ball over that next drive, usually equates to 3 points per that drive. So let's talk about giving points away to the opponent. And you know this, DK, when you turn the ball over, you have a higher percentage of losing the game. I believe when you look at Josh Allen, I believe he's 9-9 when he has 2+ turnovers in the game. So that'll be the big question mark. Because he doesn't have the true number 1 receiver, because there is a revamped defense, there's going to be more asked of him. And usually when he's put in stress situations, that's when he can turn the football over. So I think Buffalo will be just under that. I think I have them going 10-6, but I'd have them going under 10.5.
He doesn't have that true alpha receiver that he had in Stephon Diggs. He might down the road in Keon Coleman, but Keon Coleman's still a relatively inexperienced receiver. And I think he's going to be good in the long haul, but I think it's going to be a lot to ask of him to carry a lot of that workload. And I would tend to agree with Stephon Diggs, who was on record saying Josh Allen will not be the same quarterback without me until I see it. We've seen the numbers, Josh Allen, prior to Stephon Diggs getting there the first 2 years, and then how much they just incrementally went up all of a sudden. And now without him, there is going to be a learning curve there. I do think the Bills also they've been so dominant. They're not going to get the automatic wins against the Jets like they have. I think the Dolphins are going to be better this year, a team they swept last year, and the timing of the calendar when they play them, I think actually does the Bills a disservice when they have to come down week 2. But I look at the stretch of week 4, 5, and 6. 3 road games in a row that is an absolute gauntlet. And I think this could be a rough start for the Bills this season. So I'm on the under as well. I think this division will end up being the toughest in the entire NFL, and I think the Bills will be one of the teams that gets into the playoffs but doesn't win the division. So I'm under the 10.5 as well.
Yeah, DK, you mentioned that week 4 through 6 stretch. Week 6, the Jets on Monday Night Football. The Jets, their win total is at 9.5. We're assuming it's going to be a healthy Aaron Rodgers. It's this revamped O-line. They made some moves there, some pieces. And, Lige, you were actually on the last team that had 10 wins for the Jets.
I was.
Back in 2015.
Crazy.
Back in the day.
No.
Crazy.
So, I mean, are you going with the over, the under? Where are you feeling on this team?
I'm going over, and like you said, it all depends on if Aaron can stay healthy, Aaron Rodgers. Now, the biggest question mark besides that is what we were kind of talking about not too long ago, Hassan Reddick, who's asking for a trade. He's such a big part of what they want to do on defense, being the closer. And if you assume that Aaron Rodgers is going to be healthy, the Jets are going to have a lead, and you need your closers to finish out games, and that's Hassan Reddick. But Aaron Rodgers having a revamped offensive line, Garrett Wilson with Aaron Rodgers for a second year. Mike Williams just got called up off the PUP. This is probably the best roster this Jets team has had since probably that 2015 team that I was on. We know they have a championship-type defense. 2 Pro Bowlers up front of the defensive line. 2 Pro Bowlers at the linebacking position. Sauce Gardner, all-pro at the corner position. This defense is stifling and will get after you. I have the Jets going over and winning this division.
Woo! Way to just ruin the surprise at the end of the show. So I'm on the over as well, but I was way more bullish on this team until we heard the news that we just did about Hassan Reddick trying to force this trade. We mentioned, I think they probably figured out, but I wonder if it could be a tough stretch.
Correct.
The other thing that I'm trying to wrap my mind around, because I don't think it's going to be that big a deal because the quarterback play has been so bad. But you mentioned it, Lige, like what if Aaron Rodgers isn't healthy? What if he does, pull some muscle because he's coming off the Achilles and tries to do too much? I don't think you see the return of the MVP Aaron Rodgers. You don't need that. If you can just get the version that gives you, 28 touchdowns, 26 touchdowns, 5 or 6 interceptions, something he's been throughout his entire career, is extremely efficient, I think you'll be just fine. So I've got him going over as well. And then I did look at the end of the schedule, week 14, 15, back-to-back road games at Dolphins, in Jacksonville, a couple road games in Florida, and then, followed in week 17 by the Bills and Dolphins. That's a tough finish. The last game is at home, the last game, week 18.
Yep.
But still, it is a tricky finish to the schedule, and I wonder what type of toll that could take on an entire team that could be taking a pounding at the end of the year.
And we talked to Jonathan Jones last week at Jets camp, and he was talking with some Jets players who said that it's kind of unique with Hassan Reddick because, we'd love to have him, but they know how good they are without him. They were already one of the best defenses in football, so maybe that helps a little bit. The Dolphins also have a win total of 9.5. Danny, they won 11 games last season.
Over. Now, Deuce and I were down there a couple weeks ago at training camp, and I don't know, I felt like you get personally attached to teams. You start talking to some of their players. We talked to Tua, we talked to Tyreek, we talked to Coach McDaniels.
Yeah, it's like when you watch Hard Knocks and you think, oh my God.
Exactly. Start
the Texans are going to be amazing.
I will say this. I love the mentality. I think there's a great team chemistry, a camaraderie where they were all celebrating Tua's new deal. And it really felt like they meant it because they took ownership of the criticism that Tua had taken on. I love the mentality where they did not shy away from the 24-year playoff drought. They did not shy away from the fact they didn't beat many playoff teams last year, 1-6 during the regular season. They've taken ownership of it, addressed it, and I feel they're going to be more equipped, even more so, to handle it this year. So I've got the Dolphins over and the AFC East division winner when it's all said and done.
I like the spiciness. I got them going over as well. As DK mentioned, we were able to spend some time with the Miami Dolphins, and accountability was the big word. I think that's what Tua Tagovailoa was saying. He was like, we know what type of team we've had. We know about the 24-year playoff.
The ongoing discussions surrounding Jalen Hurts and his role as the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback are a testament to the intense scrutiny that comes with leading one of the NFL's most storied franchises. However, it's crucial to acknowledge the resilience and mental toughness Hurts has shown amid the rumors and criticisms that have swirled since the Eagles' late-season struggles in 2023. Brandon Graham's defense of Hurts speaks volumes, not just about the quarterback's character, but also about the respect he commands within the locker room. When a veteran like Graham, who has seen it all during his time with the Eagles, steps up to publicly support Hurts, it's a clear signal that the team's belief in their quarterback remains unshaken. Graham's comments about Hurts having a new and improved view of life are particularly telling, suggesting that Hurts has done the introspective work necessary to emerge stronger from last season's disappointments. The fact that Hurts played through a knee issue while leading the team to a 10-1 start speaks to his grit and determination. Yet, the subsequent criticisms about his leadership and relationships with teammates seem to overlook the reality that football is a team sport and no quarterback, no matter how talented, can carry a team alone through an entire season. The narrative that Hurts struggled with leadership seems incongruent with the support he continues to receive from players like Graham and others inside the locker room. Moreover, the talk of a potential rift between Hurts and head coach Nick Sirianni seems to be more a creation of external speculation than an internal truth. Graham's insights suggest that Hurts' quiet demeanor might be mistaken for detachment, but in reality, it's a reflection of his focus and composure. Hurts doesn't need to be the loudest voice in the room to be an effective leader. His actions and the respect he commands from his peers speak louder than words ever could. As the Eagles transition into the 2024 season, with Kellen Moore taking over as offensive coordinator and Sirianni stepping into more of a CEO-type role, the stage is set for Hurts to reclaim the form that made him a finalist for the 2022 MVP award. This could be a pivotal year for Hurts to silence the doubters and prove that he is not just a capable quarterback, but a franchise cornerstone. The speculation about Bill Belichick's potential return to the NFL sidelines only adds another layer of intrigue to the season, but it also highlights the high expectations surrounding Hurts and the Eagles. Ultimately, Hurts' journey is far from over, and how he navigates the pressures of this season will be a defining chapter in his career. The support from teammates like Graham is a reminder that while external narratives can be powerful, they do not define a player's legacy. His performance on the field does. And with Hurts' determination, skill set, and the backing of his team, there's every reason to believe that he can rise above the noise and lead the Eagles to new heights.
Bom, gente, Matheus Pereira, do Cruzeiro, fala sobre saúde mental e missão. Salvar vidas das drogas e da bebida. O jogador enfrentou quadro severo de depressão quando jogava no exterior. Gente, pesado. Bom, destaque absoluto do Cruzeiro na temporada é cotado para a seleção brasileira. Matheus Pereira vive um dos melhores momentos da carreira. Líder em gol e assistência do time em 2024. O jogador está recuperado, mas, mais do que em campo, ele comemora a retomada da saúde mental também, em entrevista exclusiva à Globo. Bom, gente, no primeiro semestre, o jogador abriu o coração sobre os problemas que viveu ao longo de sua carreira, inteiramente construída no exterior, com passagens por Portugal, Inglaterra e países do Oriente Médio. Matheus Pereira revelou que teve problemas com drogas e álcool no início e, recentemente, quadro importante de depressão. Diante desse cenário, o camisa 10 do Cruzeiro coloca como um dos principais objetivos de vida conseguir auxiliar pessoas com vícios, justamente por ter tornado público os problemas que teve em um passado não muito distante. Aí ele diz assim, gente, eu fico muito feliz de fazer um gol, uma assistência, ganhar jogos, mas não tem nada melhor do que impactar uma vida. Não tem nada melhor do que salvar uma vida das drogas ou da bebida. Outro dia eu tava entrando no estacionamento da igreja, daí eu vi um cara, ele tava meio ligado, aí eu falei, talvez esteja com mais dificuldades. Aí ele falou, sabe por que eu estou aqui? Estou há 15 dias sem fazer nada, limpo só porque eu vi seu testemunho. Gente, realmente muito importante você ter uma vida de exemplo, para as pessoas, de superação. Bom, fico muito feliz de que ele realmente, tá conseguindo aí, como ele acabou de dizer, em relação ao cara, mas enfim, gente, essa foi a notícia. Eu espero que todos tenham gostado e entendido. Não esqueçam de se inscrever no canal. Um beijo e até a próxima!